Okay,
It's not showing up in your
welcome.
feed.
Well, it should. Oh, it's going there right now. I just clicked the live button, so
Okay.
it's good. We are live. Right.
Got it.
Meow. Happy Thursday, December 12th. Oh yeah. It's a
Happy
cold one in
Thursday,
Chicago
Matt.
today, huh, Tracker?
Yeah, but it'd be nice. They're
Yeah, it's
pretty
like
days. I was out yesterday walking.
it's
Oh, go ahead.
it's 6 degrees Fahrenheit out there today. No.
It was like you could see a little bit of snow just kind of coalescing out of the sky. It felt like it was just coalescing out of the air around you because you didn't see it, so something was just there.
Yeah.
I'm just putting live. Right.
Yeah, I forgot to put it on mine too. On my X.
Done. We are live. Okay, so with that said, good morning, Kim Kitty and Fat Chin, and Hef Williams is there, and Bulldog. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. So
I guess we should acknowledge the elephant and the 400-pound gorilla in the room, or should I say 420-pound gorilla, because Tesla.
Well, maybe 426-pound. Yeah.
I know, right? It just went right over its all-time high, and here we are. I love it.
Yeah. We can talk about that first. I'll just put up my. People were asking about the $5,000 Tesla chart, and this is it right here. And there it is.
Take a screenshot.
$5,000 next level. So basically, I was saying the whole time, once it breaks this blue level, it's just going to go. And that is exactly what has been happening. It broke out, this bullish engulfing above it, and nonstop price action to the upside, all-time high territory. But now the question is, it's like a merry-go-round. Where is it going to stop? Nobody knows, right?
Nobody knows.
Nobody
knows. We have an idea.
Yeah, I have an idea. Like, I think maybe 450s, 470s is a good place. And then after that, we'll use like the linear scale just to see an idea here, which is maybe around the 1.272 fib 499. So like I think the next major level is probably around going to be around $500, but it's not going to go straight up there. It's going to have some retraces on the way. But yeah, I think 499.55 is looking likely. Whether or not it needs to back test
too.
Yeah, whether or not it needs to back test previous. Yeah, whether or not it needs to back test previous all-time highs or not, I'm not convinced yet, but it's a possibility, right? It's always a possibility to back test levels, so we'll see. Yeah, if it does, I think it's bullish either way. So I've been saying this whole time, all these pullbacks have been bullish either way. So this is a bright future for Tesla. And now I'll switch to your chart, Tracker.
I just don't know. Oh, I like your chart for a second. I was going to say it makes sense that the next resistance level will be $500 or just a few cents under it.
Yeah.
Because psychologically, 500 is huge. Like, oh no, we'll just like keeps just like yesterday for the longest time. It took like 45 minutes for 420.69 to hit. You're going to buy 469, and Mr. Market just kept selling 420.40, and it took an interminable. I tried to take videos of it, and I just gave up because this is like going to take forever. So
well, it did hit it. It was a temporary top. For a little bit, yeah.
I figured somebody else would get it. I had better things to do with my time at the moment. But oh my gosh. So like Matt said, if XRP did this too, right? It ran up and then it spent a bunch of time building a base, and the last thing it did before it moved higher was it wicked all the way back down, did a perfect test to its previous all-time high from like a couple of years ago, and then ran again. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's possible Tesla could go build a base higher, look like it's ready to maybe almost break up, but then it seems to lose momentum in a moment. And then if it just do not put a stop loss. Do not put a stop loss anywhere higher than 400, I would say, because they might run all the way down to 414.50. And they might even try to run it to 400, but 414.50. We could get a perfect wick down and then run back up again and leave, they would take your shares and then just leave you in the dust, and you have to rebuy all your shares higher.
Yeah, I think stop losses in a bullish market are not the smartest thing to do because they do stop loss raids all the time. We saw that with crypto just a few days ago, right? Last week,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, whenever that
They
was.
raided all the coffers of all.
Yeah, they just wicked it down. Like XRP went to 189. Like a lot of crypto just wicked down hard and just bounced immediately. Just that was a very blatant and obvious stop loss raid. So I just completely hate them in a bull market. In a bear market, I will use them, but not in a bull market.
Yeah. Okay, now you may switch to my screen, Matt, and I'll show
All
everybody what I'm looking at with Tesla. So I did this WXYZ analysis, and I told you, let's see, it's just basically this big one right here. You look at it from a weekly time scale, and I said, hey, if we get a fractal repeat of this ratio pattern here, ABC, from the 2021 to 2022 period where it broke out of this triangle and then just absolutely like relentlessly went up. You saw there's a little bit of back testing here and then just kept going up. I expect the same thing over here. So here's the ratio, and a perfect mirror copy of this would take us to 487.03. And I put this as by Catrol because it was Cat's idea using Matt's retracement fibs. And then I also did my own analysis of my TSLL chart. Let's see. My TSLL chart, I also have a fifth wave that peaks around 39.64. And so if I simply take where price closed, where price is right now, I expect it to move another 26.6% higher in TSLL, which is a 2x ETF, so that's 13.33% higher. So I go back to the Tesla chart, and I take this little arrow, and I say, well, what is 13.33% higher than where we are right now? And I guess this is kind of cool. It accounts for the slippage a little bit the closer we get to it. But 13.33 is almost so I had 481 by TSLL. Today it's 42 by TSLL. I guess the closer we get to it, maybe it'll get closer to 47. But this is what 2 points of confluence are telling me. Both Cat's idea, which I simply took it to the final conclusion and said, well, this is where that fractal would end, plus my TSLL chart, which is predicting 41 based off of its differential equation of Tesla. And then more largely, in the longer term run, I put out the projection. I still stand by it. I think by July of 2025, we'll see $710. It could happen before then, but my prediction is that we hit it at least by then. I'm trying to think of how I did that one off the top of my head, but don't worry about it. It's just, and so in the meantime, probably look for Matt's extensions here again, using from like the all-time low. No, let's see. Yeah, let me do my extension here. Let's do it from 1380, and let's say it does stop at 47. Then as it keeps going, oh, the 127 is 585. Okay, never mind. We won't use Matt's fibs for this, or maybe I should just do it shorter. Matt's fibs are great. I really am enjoying using them.
Yeah, so you're a fan of the 1.272 and the 1.4?
I am. I'm enjoying it now.
Yeah, most people don't use it, but yeah, I think I got Cat using it too. I don't think he used it before either, so it's a good one.
Yeah. I was just worried about the ones in between 0 and 100. But they line up. I should do a talk about it sometime, but not today. So anyway, that's it. Don't put stop losses under your Tesla shares. Nowhere near under too close because they will just get rated.
Well,
so after 47, it'll just it'll consolidate a little bit and then start making it 5 impulsive waves to the next target, 710. And I'll have that for you guys as we get closer.
Very good. I'm just gonna do the indices real quick, just because the PPI was a little bit hot, apparently, according to some people on X. And where is that button? There that is. So yeah, SPY. Who cares if it's hot? It's still above the daily conversion line, 604. That is your daily support right there. Let's see if that can hold. And it's still in an uptrend, still not even a back test of the previous all-time highs, so that's fine. QQQ, yeah, it's down a little bit too, but it was an all-time high candle close yesterday, and it's still above the previous all-time high on Friday, December 6th. So this is just like a little normal retrace happening. IWM, yeah, I kind of always expected it to come back and retest the 235 after this rejection up here. So I think that is still your support, 235.02, and I think a great opportunity because once it backtests this support, I think it would be clear to go to break the all-time highs after that. So backtest, super healthy, great opportunities to buy, in my opinion, and for a chance to go higher. So just a little bit more pain for these indices, and then I think all the pleasure.
Oh yeah, that's great. It's lovely how the wick there, for the all-time high, sort of foretells where the market wants to go, and it's just like all the naysayers sort of pulling it down to test supports before it can release the rubber band and trebuchet forward and upwards.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it might be a little bit of a red day today, but who cares? Like all-time highs were just hit, so just relax, everybody. Everything is okay. All right, where to next?
A little bit pullback.
There's the people asking about DXYZ. I think that's
sure,
on you, Tracker. Yeah.
I love DXYZ. So DXYZ. Long story short, I wasn't bullish enough. I thought that it was going to hit some significant 76.4% fib extension and come back to the 382. It did not do that. It just kept running to the 123.6% fib extension. It did make a run back to the 618 down here, $50.91 for the wave 4, and away we go again. This wave 2 was kind of short. It might see some, I don't know, I guess if Tesla sees a red day, or if you see price come back down here, it's like the don't worry, it's just oscillation. It could even come all the way back to the 7.6. No, it doesn't have to do that again. It probably the lowest it would come back is back to the 100%, 65.93 if it comes back at all. But then eventually it's just going to want to keep going higher and higher. And I project this to hit $114.54 in, it was 9 days. Now it's actually just 6 days now. 6 days away. So next week, maybe after that announcement about everyone's Bitcoin holdings on their records and how bullish Bitcoin is, and maybe, who knows, maybe Tesla bought some more Bitcoin too. Anyway, maybe SpaceX has Bitcoin. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, basically, this thing is a rocket going to Mars. It has got a considerable holding of SpaceX inside of this closed-end ETF. Or it's not ETF. It's just a closed-end fund. So anyway, I like it. It could, I'll stick mine into $114, but it could wick all the way into almost $130 for the 2618. So take your screenshot there if you want. And this gray box is where I'll be looking at selling into strength. And then looking for an ABC retrace, which I should be doing soon. I'll have that for you guys by next show, where I think it could be retracing to. Back to you, Matt.
Yes. What else is on the menu here? I can see some AVGO, some Broadcom. I'll do that one. So here's my GAN for it, and it broke out above an important level. So it is bullish, but it's having trouble breaking through this all-time high zone. So it's just stuck. And I don't know if it's going to break out anytime soon, but it is a possibility. We can see that it's above all the indicators of the Ichimoku. So perhaps it's just buying enough time. Maybe it does want to touch the cloud one day and then go higher. I'm not sure. But it's bullish. So all I got to see is a weekly candle close that closes into all-time high territories, and then it's good to go. Otherwise, I see it just stuck underneath like the 186 zone. until it's really ready to break higher. So bullish chart, but just maybe a little bit more time.
Now I've got AVGO as well. I was going to pull up my Lux Algo order block detector that Kat turned me on to. Oh, I don't see anything except buying. So AVGO, if I'm up here, I am up, thank you, Matt. If you look down the bottom of the screen here, these are weekly. This is the MCDX Plus. It shows whales versus retail. There's 86% whale buy-in, 60% traders, and no retail at all on this thing. So it is bullish, as Matt said. Just on this alone tells you it's super bullish, actually. Anything over 75% in red and 0% in green is super bullish. You can expect an uptrend, just like the way Danny's red candles work. I did, and let's see. I did a Fibonacci pinball projection of this from the wave start to the wave 1 to the wave 2, and that would take us a typical expansion. If this thing goes really bullish, is 764, 382, 1382, 100%, 2382. You can sing along with me every time, you guys, if you want, and learn and memorize these numbers, because it's actually not that hard to do what I do initially, and then until you get to the nuances. But yeah, this thing goes to 258 next is my target. And as Matt said, it's stuck between really this 236 and this 382, and it hasn't quite. Sometimes when the market doesn't feel like it's ready, it'll hold off testing the next fib level because they know as soon as they touch it, then they're gonna have to challenge it, and then they're gonna get above it. So there might be some, I don't know, subconscious suppression or conscious suppression. Anyway, the whole chart here, from where we are right now, I project it would take about 1,200 days for it to move 193% higher. But to the next target from where it is now is about 43% higher. And that I can't give you a good projection on that. But it's not a fast moving stock by any means. But it is definitely bullish. It's worth an investment.
Yeah, it's very bullish. All right. Next, I see AMD, and people are so worried about it. Actually, Jim Cramer gave AMD the blessing last night, I heard, on his Mad Money show. So that's the curse, right? Maybe that's.
Oh no!
Yeah,
maybe
that's why. Yeah, he said he liked it. He said he liked it. So watch out below. No. Yeah. So. Kat and I, we talked about this on the Triumvirate show on Tuesday, and we both came to the consensus that it's like in the bottoming process. And the obvious conclusion I have here is the previous all-time high in 2021 and the low down there, it's still maintaining that 786, the 129.88. Yes, it wicked below. Yes, it went down to 126, but the week's not over, and it's even above it pre-market right now. So everybody just relax. This is fine. Anything above the 786 or in that zone, it could even wick down to the previous low here too, like the 121. But I think all this is a great buy zone, and I've actually been accumulating all the way down, like from like the 149, like 129, and I'll buy more if it goes down. Right? I do love accumulating charts that look like this because the high time frame is still really bullish, and it's just a short-term loss of momentum since February. Right? That's it. So basically 129.88, looking for a weekly candle close above that. If that continues to hold, then I expect a recovery sooner than later. So people love to sell support. They did it with Tesla all the time. And what do you know? Tesla rebounded nicely. And I think AMD is also. Yeah.
Oh, you're comparing them.
Yeah. People shorted, or they sold support with Tesla all the time, right?
Yeah,
and just like AMD, they're freaking out and selling support, I'm sure, below 130. But this is accumulation zone, in my opinion, and price should be fine in the near future.
Indeed. Even that consolidation pattern, just in my eyes, looks a lot like the Tesla consolidation pattern from 2022 down to where we are now. Like that's the 138.80 low is where we just wicked to.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks really good. I've got an AMD chart I can show too, with the Lux order algo block detectors on here. Lux algo order block detectors. You can see they've got the sell zone, the sell wall set up here above 154.08, And people have got buy orders down here, but I don't think they're going to get filled. Just like Matt said, it's already kind of teased out this whole. I can't see if as far back as Matt does on this chart, but oh no, here, right here. It's already teased out the zone here. Yeah, this is all wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to do this low again. So anyway, as long as this must be on a, as long as 116.78 holds, I see it just making higher highs very, very soon. And my next target above is 298.84, which is a 146. Let's double check that. Percent higher than it is right now. So I like AMD. I've got some, and I want to buy more. It does eventually go to 480.91, and maybe in. Again, my charts don't predict time scale very well, but I'm trying to use this hyperbolic tool to help me out. So maybe it goes up 268% in about 1,000 days. It could go faster than that, but that's what I'm projecting at the moment. There you go, AMD. We like it.
Yep. All right, go ahead.
I see an IONQ.
Yeah,
I'll do IONQ here. So I got to get closer on this one. Closer. All right. IONQ, looks like I haven't visited this chart in a while. It did a whole extended wider flat of the wave 2. Unless I was wrong, and that was wave 5. But according to the count that I had up to now, it looks like the wave 2 of 3 had an extended wider flat. It made just a teeny tiny, slightly lower low right here. Actually, what I should do is just pull this to the side like that. So a bigger 1 and a bigger 2. I still see this likely going to 47.72. But it's going to take longer, obviously. It's really moved the timeline out by extending this wider flat. Yeah, I can see how it looks really scary. It pulled back a lot. It made a lower low than where I had this minor wave 2, but it didn't make a new lower low than back here for this wave 4 at 22.27. It's just it's fine if you're holding it. If you're underwater right now, I think you'd be fine. I don't see it going lower than that wick. It just wants to get right back to this moving average 75 to argue about it. And you can see the Mr. Market's got a big sell order block way up here. So, Mr. Market thinks it's going up this way as well. And I don't know what people are thinking down here, but they think they can buy it down here. And I don't see that happening. The whole retrace was supposed to come back to almost where it is now. Maybe this was wave 5. I'll have to look at the chart some more. But I think it still wants to go to 47.72 next. It's taking a stroll through the park to get there. Back to you, Matt.
All right, I see a lot of requests for miners here, so I'm just going to go through some of them. And starting with Riot. I see my Riot chart here, so here we go. Here's my weekly chart, and it's just in a range, right? It broke out, it got rejected by resistance up here, and you can see it's breaking levels of the GAN again, but it's still in a range, right? And we can just, even if we didn't use anything else, we can just draw a line there and essentially look at that, and it's basically like a very important zone, right? It's like a resistance zone. It's like a resistance zone. It's a resistance zone, and it's trying to become a support zone. So this is happening to a lot of miners now. Their previous resistance zones, and now they're trying to be support again, right? So does it seem dead? No, it's just perfectly normal. I think the people that only think it's dead are the ones that bought up here, like in the 14s or 15s. But if you bought down here when I did, and these stocks, right, the $6, $7, $8 zone, then this is perfectly fine, right? This is a great breakout, and you can see that it is just building a base at a higher level. So bullish chart. It just might need more time, right? And then if we look at HUT, I see a HUT request too.
I've got some breaking news on HUD. It is up in pre-market. It's by 17% this morning.
Yeah. And you know what, though? Look at what the chart did before that news came out. It was building a base on top of the 618, the 2578. So you had so many weeks to add to this before this news came out. And this is why I say that the charts are always first before the news. 2578 was hit literally for a month straight. This range has been your target for a month. I've been telling my Patreon people that too. And I think some of them were in it. But you can see that people love it after it breaks out. Oh, I got to chase this. No, that is the incorrect time. The correct time is right here, 2578, or a wick below, or a little bit higher is fine too, just in that zone. So ample opportunity to buy that. But now it's breaking out. It's going towards resistance. A little bit more cautious at the $33 zone. So markets, they give you so much time to buy. It's just up to you if you want to buy. Just like down here, it gave so much time to buy the 8s. So like couple months, 3 months maybe, to buy that zone, but probably people were too afraid to. So got to take advantage of support when it's presented in your face, just like it was right now. So you got
literally in the name, HUD 8. Buy it at $8.
Yeah, HUD 8. It was at $8 for a long time, a very long time. Yeah,
It was a curse of the name.
Boom. Oh, I see one more CLSK on the list here too.
Oh my God!
Same thing.
So many posts about CLSK yesterday.
Well, it's just dumb to be bearish on this chart too.
Exactly.
It's dumb. It's dumb to be bearish. Like, look at this is also a previous resistance, previous support, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance, breakout. What is it doing? It's back testing that previous resistance as a support over and over and over again for over 1 month. And again, it's giving you, even right now, it's giving you so much time to accumulate, but people are too afraid because they think it's going to go lower. And that's the most incorrect thing anybody can do, I think, in trading, is assume it's going to go lower until there's proof otherwise, right? It's just, if you always think it's going to go lower, then you're never going to buy. You're never going to buy, and then you're going to always chase after it breaks out. So this is the number one mistake of retail traders, is always assuming it's going to go lower. When I see a chart like this, I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm going to buy. And actually, I think I'm going to buy. Like, if it stays under 13 today, I think I'll buy, right? I'll buy more. Like, I was buying down here in the 9s, in the 7s, and the 8s, right? I was buying down there, but I'll probably add to my position because this chart looks good. Okay.
It's pretty hilarious. CLSK was down 0.85% yesterday, and in pre-market, it is up 0.86%.
Yeah,
it just went right back to where it started yesterday.
If it gets to like 1250 again today, I think I'll just load the boat because I love that 1250 zone. I think it's really a healthy place to be. So we'll see. People that are afraid, I will buy your fear. I will buy it, and I will make money.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about MicroStrategy now, because I want to get Matt's opinion on this as well. One of my former mentors, Zach Manis, is projecting a possible series of lower lows for MicroStrategy. I've got to say, I love him so much, but there are some times when I had my chart and I looked at his chart and I deferred to his chart, and then I wish I hadn't. Like, I wish I just stuck with my own charts. But he thinks it could come all the way back into the 200s again. I'm still looking at this triangle. I think it wants to break out higher. It looks like it formed this declining resistance trend and then kind of broke under it and then back over it. And yeah, I think it wants to break out again. And like I said, there's that possible catalyst next week where all the U.S. companies have to, this Sunday actually, have to divulge what kind of cryptocurrency they have on their books. And maybe we'll find out, all these companies have got Bitcoin. And then everyone was like, it'll be the bandwagon effect, right? Then all the companies that don't have Bitcoin is like, we need to buy Bitcoin. And then all the retail and everyone else will be like, we need to buy more Bitcoin. And then the price will just, catapult from there because of the demand. The demand will be so high. But anyway, I'm still liking MicroStrategy. I'm still looking for this whole thing to go up to 750.53 next, based off of this high and this low. Yeah, this is basically my large degree 1, 2, and then it goes to 750 back to 544, on to 1,083, back to 877. Like, this is a big chart because this was a big move right here that I'm counting as my larger degree 1, larger degree 2. And so it becomes a really big chart, and it goes up to like $1,622.70 when this thing tops out. Anyway, Matt, so I really want to get your opinion on MicroStrategy. Once again, just to reassure myself that it's not going to 280 or 220.
Well, it's going to zero tracker now.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Aliens, take
No,
it
it's super fine. I'm gonna just show my stuff. Show my stuff. Show my stuff.
I think
So,
sometimes Zach puts out. Oh, don't go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just say I think sometimes Zach puts out hypotheticals that don't necessarily pan out. They look like interesting ideas to him, but they can be so misleading.
I think most people don't have an accurate read on markets recently out there because they're used to bubble mentality. They're not used to exponential growth mentality, and this is the phase that we're in right now. We're in exponential growth phase, and things that people are expecting pullbacks all the time are most likely going to get left behind. We're seeing that with Palantir. People are like, oh, once it was below 70 yesterday, I saw people like, oh, it's all over. Oh my God, it's going to collapse. But no, I was like, no, 69 is support. I told my Patreon people, some people were buying 69. And guess where it's at today? It's above 70 something, right? I don't even know. But anyways, MicroStrategy, that's what we're here to talk about. And I see 400 as a very important level because it's the conversion line of the Ichimoku, the weekly conversion line, and it's back above. And it was below that conversion line since the massive all-time high drop. And it broke below it and never could close back above it until possibly tomorrow. Tomorrow's a weekly candle close, so 400.50 is the target to close above tomorrow. If it does that, then this has potential to go much higher, right? So this becomes a bullish stock again. Like the momentum, all the momentum that was lost is regained. So I'm just focusing on 400. Just stay above 400, and this is fine, right? Stay above 400, and it's a beautiful stock once again, and it'll go higher. And not only that, I'm going to use Cat's little Super Ichi too, and I'm going to show you why for here.
Oh, yeah.
And the Super Ichi, it's also getting back above the conversion line there for the first time, and that's at 403, right? 403 something. And this has not been above it or closed above it since the massive drop too. So you got some confluence with the Ichi and the Super Ichi and all that stuff. So yeah, 400 is proving to be a very important level. If you get a weekly candle close above it, then people that are bearish on MSTR are probably going to get burned. So
my number one position right now in my portfolio, I am 25% of my portfolio is in MSTX, the 2X ETF of MicroStrategy.
Yeah, I think this weekly close looks like it has a potential to be very, very positive, which is also a positive for Bitcoin too. So maybe Bitcoin will go higher as well.
Indeed. Higher, we doing higher. Let's see. Somebody asked us about ACHR. That's the Archer Aviation. And I threw this one out this was like a bone I gave to the public. I said, hey guys, look, this is an example of the kind of stuff I can do with my charting. If you follow me and make some money, then you can afford to buy my subscription. It's only $2 a month, and I give you all my charts, not just this one. Looks like Archer Aviation is in an extended, wider move of the wave 4. It's not a flat; it hasn't made a lower low. It's still got a higher high, and even with this wick it just had this morning, oh look, it touched the 4-hour moving average 75. My magic moving average 75, just a wick right to there. And it's back up again. In fact, it looks like it's testing the bottom of this Bollinger Band here before it wants to go higher. And you can see the Bollinger Band is sort of angled up, I would say. Anyway, the wave 2 is very short. So the Elliott wave theory of alternation says the wave 4 will be longer, and indeed is a bit longer. Looks like I'm gonna have to stretch out my time projection. I had this in 12 days earlier. Let's just pull it out to here and there. So I think it's going to move 125% higher than it is now in about 12 days. Well, about 13 days. It's 12 days and 8 hours, so 13 days. This still has potential to just a big explosive move. You could probably buy another century of my if you're a medium to high roller, you could probably buy another century of my subscription with the money you make off of this. There we go, ACHR. I'd like to stock. I'm in it.
Yeah, I think I'll have time for one more myself, and then I'll give you one more tracker if you want. But I'll do SMCI, and we can see that SMCI is still maintaining the symmetry of the market pretty nicely. It's maintaining market symmetry, and you can see that it's still above the arc right here, 38.20.
Yes.
Pre-market. What's that?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm just nodding my head, but with my voice.
Yeah, but I'm more focused on the 100-week moving average because this was trying to be a very important support. So I'm not going to get bullish on this until it can reclaim that 42.76. And until then, it might be sideways. And if it ever loses this arc, then I think it's just going to go down back to the 20s. So we'll see. It has potential to hold. It has potential to be bullish, but I'm just watching this $36 level. I want that to hold. If it doesn't hold, I'll be cautious. I'll very, very cautious. But if it turns back above 42.76 on a weekly candle close again, then I think the momentum could continue to the upside. So that's
I don't know what to make of it if it's like that big a deal, but they're taking Supermicrocomputer off of the NASDAQ 100 to add MicroStrategy onto the NASDAQ 100, but it's probably not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's just a narrative, so we'll see. The charts telling the story.
Exactly, the charts tell the story. My SMCI chart, I see this. I'm looking for an ABC retrace, from the all-time high, or from the last higher high to the last low we had. Would take it to 82.54 by the C wave. So I'm looking for 57.51, back to 42. Everyone will say, "Oh no, it's terrible, it's going to fail," and then up to 82.54 to surprise everybody. It might even go to the 764. I'm kind of looking back over here, all this price action. Maybe I should be a little bit more bullish and say maybe it's going to go up here. The bad thing is if it's going to go higher here, it means it might go lower here to give it some of that energy. Or maybe it'll do this. It's hard to say. I play with these bands a lot. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like this for the moment. Maybe we'll get something like this. ABC. 82.54 to 97.97 is where I see it going next. So even if it kind of takes a while to build a base around here, around 42. Comes the Ichimoku. But we won't keep Matt much longer. He's got to save his voice for his Patreon followers.
Yes, I do. Yes, time for my private live stream, guys, for my tier 5 Patreon people. So sorry we can't get to all your requests, but we do appreciate you tuning in.
Yep, indeed. Thank you guys so much for being here. I think price could possibly follow this little swoosh I just drew. Sometimes you can carve a path out through the Ichimoku clouds. And it's really cool. The moving average 75, if you put it on your charts, it really does like to go right through all the Ichimoku clouds. So if you see it printing green like this, it usually means that that's moving average 75 is going to go through it as well. All right. We'll be back again tomorrow.
Yes. See you guys then. Bye-bye.
Same cat time, same Matt channel.
Exactly. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
All right. Good luck.